Welcome to RSA Conference 2024. We're here recording live from Broadcast Alley in Moscone West. This interview is sponsored by AlgoSec. I'm your host, Adrian Sanabria, and joining me today for this interview is Chris Thomas, Chief Revenue Officer at AlgoSec.
Yeah.
Hey
Great
Chris,
to be
how
here.
you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, it's a great RSA. Welcome back into San Francisco. Great to be here.
Yeah, always a fun event to come to. Get to see everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't know what attendance is, but it looks pretty big.
Yeah, it looks good. The traffic or our booth is any indicator. It's very good.
So you do have a booth?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, right across from Splunk.
Right across from Splunk?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we get a lot of good traffic there.
Good,
Yeah.
good. All right, so today we're talking about business applications, both being the problem and the solution. So starting out, let's talk about AlgoSec first.
Sure.
And what kind of a company AlgoSec is, because it's a very interesting space.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people don't know, but AlgoSec's actually been around for almost 20 years here.
Oh, yeah.
So we're no stranger to the enterprise space and to government business, and it's a very unique company. I've done 6 ventures in my life. This is my 6th one, but the company's unique in a lot of different ways. I think number one is our longevity and the stability of our business. We've always run the company with an eye towards fiscal responsibility.
Yeah.
So we don't really follow necessarily a Silicon Valley model where raise a lot of money, spend a lot of money for growth. So we're a conservative business that's focused maniacally on our customer experience, on our partner community. And we've managed to build the business up very, very nicely over the years. We have thousands of customers we've sold to. We are really focused on the experience of that customer base. We operate in highly regulated markets, so banking, financial services, insurance, healthcare, government agencies. We do a lot of work in retail as well. With a focus on growing the customer base, focus on our partner community, it's been a pleasure, and we are actually a profitable business as well, which is also truly unique. So very stable. We know how to deal with big customers on a global basis, and we're continuing to grow the company very nicely. And last year we experienced about 35% growth in our top line business. So we're very happy about that.
I'd expect
particularly
nothing
in this
different
market.
from the Chief Revenue Officer.
Yeah, well, there it is. Yeah. And we do hire people too, unlike a lot of our other competitors have been restructuring. But we've enjoyed that quite a bit, and it's thanks to our customers and thank you to our partners.
Yeah. And started out as a firewall orchestration vendor, but into a whole lot more things.
Yeah. Well, you might, a lot of folks might actually know us mainly out of what's called the NSPM space, Network Security Policy Management.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, I'd say, where we started. And a lot of customers may look at us, or competitors may say, oh yeah, that's the firewall management company.
Yeah.
But the reality is we're way, way, way beyond that. I mean, that's sort of table stake stuff. Do we do firewall management? Of course we do. But we're much more strategic now with our customers, and actually, which changed that a lot is, this is sort of the new bank,
right,
or the new airline, or the new grocery store. So everything's really been digitally transformed, more and more workloads being moved to the cloud. And where we've really evolved and transitioned the businesses with a focus first and foremost on the application. Application is king to our customers. It drives their business forward, makes them competitive, allows them to gain market share, allows them to deal with employees and partners. So when you think about policy and the way policy is managed, you need to have a real contextual understanding of why change should happen with certain policies. And what drives all of that is the application. Yeah. So we deal with what we call secure application connectivity anywhere. So it can be in the data center, it could be at a branch, it could be at a campus, or in the cloud. And we cover that whole landscape for our customers because the application actually traverses all of that infrastructure.
Right.
And we're there for them. So, when you think about applications and you think about the way you manage them and you think about how that drives a business forward, this is what we're really focused on. We're not focused on securing the code. We're not focused on securing databases and things of that nature. We're focused on the connectivity piece.
Access to the application.
The access to the application. And when you think about application flows, they're very complicated, a lot of different devices in path, and we're actually dealing with assessing risk associated with policy that allows those applications to connect.
Right.
In addition to that, We're also focused on, you mentioned orchestration. Yes, we're involved in that too, but more and more of our customers are actually looking to move deeper and deeper into automation and all kinds of different types of automation. Everything from speeding up change management requests for applications to be deployed all the way to zero touch. And we do all of that and everything in between. So when you think about the application, you think about speed to market, this is where we're focused in helping our customers get there. The last thing I just want to mention about this is that there's always this little battle that we see between the application owners and the developers that are all about speed and agility and the security side of the house. So we marry those two sides of the house and bring them together to speed the application
folks
deployment.
Need to be able to keep up.
You bet.
Yeah.
And the AlgoSec's a platform that actually enables that to happen.
Yeah. I imagine you're kind of a key component for some of your customers in their zero trust initiatives as well.
Yes, very much so. I mean, this is all about, really for us, it's really all about how you actually make a customer move more rapidly.
Yeah.
And normally you think of us as just purely a technical sell.
Yeah.
And yes, we've got a lot of technology, a lot of innovation underlying our platform. But most of our discussions in the zero touch space is all about how you actually help a business move forward more rapidly. And normally when you think of what we do, you wouldn't think about, hey, we can actually help you generate revenue for a customer, or we can actually help you save a lot of money through more automation, things of that nature. So for us, in having these types of tech discussions, it's also a business discussion as well. AlgoSec actually, we can safely say, helps our companies deliver those applications which drive revenue forward. If you have bad policy that introduces risk, that impacts your ability to generate revenue. And the last thing that most of our customers want to be is on the cover of the Wall Street Journal or some other magazine, maybe one of yours, that is talking about a potential breach and things of that nature. So when that happens, it actually shuts the business down. They can't generate revenue. They can't service their customers. So we play a big role in actually helping ensure that connectivity is safe and it doesn't present any bottlenecks. So it's an exciting place for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's you may have already answered this in some of what you've said, but what are some of the issues that your customers are dealing with at this point? What are the big pain points that you're helping people solve at the moment?
So I think the big thing that we're on the journey with our customers on right now is cloud everything. You see it all over the place. And most of our customers have been in the cloud for years, and they're accelerating more and more their workloads into the cloud. So I think what we see most of the time is big customers are going through massive digital transformation right now. And they're really trying to figure out what is the best way for me to migrate my applications or create greenfield applications in the cloud so that I can be responsive to our business needs. In so doing, some of the big challenges that they're dealing with, one of the biggest ones is speed of delivery of those applications and ensuring that they're secure.
Right.
And this is always the challenge. So you have app owners that are really under pressure to actually deliver new solutions and capabilities so they can keep advancing their businesses. And at the same time, the security side wants to make sure that they're not introducing undue risk. So that's one of the biggest challenges that we find is a problem. So if you're spending all this time and energy on building a new application, but it takes you a long time, weeks and months to actually get it deployed, again, it impacts that business. So AlgoSec comes into play to actually speed that along, do the risk assessment, ensure that you're compliant. Compliance is a big issue. Ensure that the application owners can work with the security guys, make sure that app owners can actually ask for a change request in plain English and we can translate that into IP and subnets and source destination and all that and protocols and ports and all of that kind of technical stuff that the app owners don't understand. So we actually are sort of that Rosetta Stone that translates that. That introduces speed and agility. And I think not only do we manage risk, but we help those companies move faster.
Yeah, I mean, the modern business needs speed as a competitive advantage. The company gets to market quicker. Yeah. So absolutely, all the tools and components and layers, needed to deliver those applications has to move as fast as possible. Yeah. And certainly I think took maybe security a few years to catch up with the whole DevOps and agile cloud trend and all that. Right. But yeah, it looks like everybody's starting to catch up with that. Yeah. and security teams are getting more comfortable with automation, and had a conversation earlier where we were talking about CISOs, you know, and the trend with CISOs is kind of following this, where CISOs, their roles are being seen more as business enablers with speed, as you said, and allowing companies to move faster comfortably, you know, without, you know, having to worry as much about the, you know, the risk of missing things when they go too fast, missing security, you know, and having an accident the moment they unveil a new application. Which we've certainly seen companies rush things to market, and bad things happen very quickly. So
happens all the time.
That's very necessary.
Yeah.
So. Tell me a little bit more about some of the things you are doing with cloud.
Yeah.
So I imagine just like you're multi-vendor when it comes to firewalls, you're multi-vendor when it comes to cloud as well?
100%. So we operate in, most of the cloud environments, Azure, GCP, AWS. We have been for years, actually.
Yeah.
So I think that our point of view is it's a hybrid world.
Yeah.
So most of our customers are advancing more and more into cloud, but they're continuing to have a footprint in their data centers. Maybe they're doing a little consolidation. It's interesting. I just met with a major, fast food company just recently here at the show, and they were talking about, hey, everything they're pushing is going into cloud, but they still have all of their restaurants and they have all of their offices, and they still need to have security in those organizations, in those locations, while they're continuing to move more and more workloads in the cloud. So basically, we enable our customers to give them the network visibility. We like to call this double layered security. So you have sort of the configuration layer, then you have the network layer. If you look at cloud, it's sort of a next gen network.
Right.
The visibility of understanding potential risk at the network layer, we believe, is something that's not really being paid attention to so much. It's something we've been doing for 20 years in the data center, and now we're taking that whole network security policy management capability and moving that into the cloud. So we give customers a lot of visibility into potential risk and policy that allows applications to connect. It's all done through that application perspective and point of view. And you think about the security devices that are in cloud, and it's pretty significant, and it's proliferating. So much like you have firewalling traditionally in corporate data centers, and now you have SASE, and now you have SD-WAN, which, by the way, we cover it all. I think you had the Zscaler guy sitting here before. We cover Zscaler as well. On the cloud side, we're dealing with security groups, we're dealing with native firewalling, we're dealing with other branded firewalling. So there's a lot of different security devices that exist. The key is to understand how the applications are connecting to all that and what the policy is that exists. Is it good policy? Is it old policy? Is it misconfigured? Identify that risk, score it, make sure it's compliant, but then also help through any change requests that come through so that you can introduce new applications quickly and provision that connectivity as rapidly as possible. This is not easy to do. We made an acquisition called Provasio. We're integrating that into our whole network security platform, and we're now applying that into the cloud environment. It includes that network visibility, which is very unique to us, and we basically cover well over 150 different network configurations and identify any potential risks. That's deeper than just about anybody else in the marketplace. But we also have the CNAPP capabilities. We have CSPM capabilities, but we lead with the network security side in the cloud. And I assure you, every customer we talk to, and these are big major customers, they're always a little concerned that they're missing something on the network because it just doesn't get the right attention. And this is a big, big gap in their portfolio, and we're filling that big gap for them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for joining us on Security Weekly today.
You bet. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
And to learn more about AlgoSec, you can visit securityweekly.com/AlgoSec RSAC. And you can head over to securityweekly.com/RSAC for more content from us. And stick around. We'll have another interview in a few minutes.
And the booth is 5468 in the North Hall, so swing by and see us.
There you go.